It is December 31st. We're just about ready to go into the year 2024, and there's so many memes that are popping up that are like, I've noticed no one's saying that 2024 is going to be my year. Y'all learned. And there's a lot of reason why people may be having some discourse and dread about the next year, right? We've got the big presidential election coming up in 2024 and all that, but I want to do a little bit of a story today. And the point of this video is I want to tell you why you should find God in 2024. Now, this video is not going to be me telling you should find God because Jesus Christ is Lord. It's not going to be you need to find God so you can go to heaven. It's not going to be you need God so you can be a good person. Look, if those arguments were going to work, they probably would have worked in the thousands of times that you've had those conversations with like people on the street who come up, or people who pop into your DMs, or on Reddit, or whatever social media you use, where they come in and say, Jesus Christ is Lord, God is good, you need to be a Christian. I'm not here to do that. Now, I'm not saying those things aren't true. I'm just saying that that's not this kind of video. Rather, humans are, I don't want to say selfish, but we are motivated by us, right? By me. What do I get out of it? So the point of this video is to tell you what you get out of finding God in 2024. And the only way I can really do that is by sharing my own personal stories from it. And hopefully that's something that you look at, that you see, and you say, I want that. That is what I need in 2024. So again, I'm not going to sit here and preach to you about Jesus Christ as Lord. He is, but that's not the point of this video. This is just simply why you should find God in 2024. So to do that, like I said, it's going to be a personal story that I'm sharing my own kind of journey to God and how it changed me and what I got out of it. Again, we're not trying to be selfish, but me. What do I get out of it? What do I get out of knowing God in this upcoming next year? So let me tell you what you get out of it. In my early 20s, I was a very angry, very upset, very lost person. I remember being very proud of, on Facebook, I lost almost all my Facebook friends. And in fact, I made it, my goal was to say the most outrageous, stupid, mean, vulgar things to try and lose all of my friends on Facebook, because it was one of those, I'm so edgy, I don't care about anything. And I had so much anger, and I just was so unhappy. I was working a job that I didn't like. I was stuck in this situation that I didn't feel like I could get out of. I was smoking half a pack a day. Sometimes I'd go out on my break and I'd take 2 cigarettes and smoke both the cigarettes at once. That even the smokers looked at me like I was crazy when I did that, because I was so stressed, so angry, and I felt like I didn't have any outlet for it. I was drinking way too much. We used to do this thing called splash and crash, is what I was introduced to it as, where we would take 16 ounces of 190 proof Everclear and 16 ounces of V8 Splash and mix them together and just splash and crash. You drink that and then you fall asleep, because that is way too much alcohol. That is abusing alcohol. That is terrible. I was a terrible husband. I was a terrible person. I spent pretty much all of my time trying to distract myself with video games, drinking, and smoking, just trying to get out of it. And then I remembered some wonderful advice that I got from my father, and I'll share it with you. And that is, for a man to be happy, you have to work out your brain, you have to work out your body, and you have to work out your spirituality. You have to have something more than just the physical that you are holding on to, that you are building. And I decided to take that advice. And so I went in search of the truth. Now, that didn't just lead me to Christianity. I'm not gonna be like, and then I became Christian and life was good. I said, well, there's a million religions out here, right? So why start with Christianity? I'd already done Christianity in the past. It did nothing for me. So let's try some other things. First, I tried Buddhism. And there were some things to like, and that is, quick side note, I am Catholic now. That's the kind of the point of view that I'm coming through here. And Catholics believe that there is some truth and beauty in all religions. Buddhism, of course, is no exception. I found some things that I really admired about the Buddhist practices, especially the emphasis on meditation, the emphasis on seeing how your actions impact the world around you. A lot of the teaching, as far as I understood it, and granted, I'm going to put that disclaimer on there. As I understood it, I only studied Buddhism for a few months, so I can't say that I was an expert in it by any means. So my understanding was like, if you eat an animal, for example, you're taking on that karma for having to kill something and eat it. So you are now indebted to the universe in that way of ending another life to sustain yourself. I admired that idea of it's not just me, me, me. Well, my actions are influencing everything around me, and that is something that I have to be aware of. But it wasn't the truth for me, so I moved on from Buddhism to Satanism, and that's one that catches a lot of people's eyes. People really misunderstand a lot of Satanists, and I tried both forms of Satanists. There'll be Satanists coming here like, no, not all Satanists worship Satan. That's true. There's atheistic Satanists who don't worship anything. It's more of like a philosophy, a moral code. And then there's theistic Satanists who do worship a Satan. Now that can be the Satan of Christianity. That can also be amalgamation of other gods and other religions, more like a paganism or an eclectic kind of picking and choosing what you want. So again, Christianity, Catholicism says there's beauty in all religion and some truth in all religion. And I did find some truth in Satanism. Satanism really focuses on being a good person to the community, to helping the community, but being true to yourself, but also taking care of yourself. It very focuses on your body's your temple. You should take care of it, not because of God, but because it's yours, and how you present yourself and how you are is who you are. So take care of yourself, which is obviously something that I was neglecting. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was well over 400 pounds. I was slowly killing myself through all these things, so that resonated with me. But it still wasn't the truth. And then I just delved deep into, I tried demonology, I looked into paganism, I looked into New Ageism, I studied everything I could. I was bound and determined to know the truth, that the truth was out there, I just had to find it. And during this time of searching, I was still smoking, still drinking, still giving into my anger. I regret it so much. I remember, when I'd be driving and someone would cut me off or something, and I'd just sit there and I'd wish cancer upon them. The worst possible things. Sit there and pray for someone's death because they just barely slighted you, barely inconvenienced you. Again, I'm not proud of it. I was a terrible human being, and it showed. And my life wasn't improving. I was searching for the truth. I was trying to be religious. Nothing was getting better. I was still the same person that I was. So I determined that there was no truth that I had found yet, and I had to keep searching. And this went on for a long time, years. And then it all kind of came to a head. And I'll spare you the details, but I had a big medical emergency, and I thought, this is it. This is going to be the one that kills me. This is where I die. And there was something primal, something that fell over me. I tried Satanism. I tried worshiping Satan. I tried Buddhism. I tried talking to not the Buddha, but the universe. I tried all these different religions. I tried all these different things. And yet when I truly thought that I was going to die and that this was the end of the line, something washed over me and put me on my knees and prayed to God, the Christian God. And I begged for a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, whatever chance it was. I knew I'd been messing up. I knew I'd done wrong. I knew that this was all my own fault, but I wasn't ready to die. I didn't want to die there, and I knew that I couldn't turn it around. Now, obviously, I couldn't fall asleep that night. When you think you're about to die, you're not going to sleep very well. So I kept praying, and then I felt like I heard the voice of God, and I just heard my name said, and this anxiety left. There was calmness. I fell asleep, Next morning, I wake up completely fine. And that's what set me on the path of Catholicism. I begged for that second chance. I got it. That primal feeling, that primal urge told me that there was a truth, a universal truth to the universe, and I had known it all along. And again, in Catholicism, we believe that God etches morals and himself into each of our hearts. And something that I had known to be the truth came back up in the most dire time. So once I set out on learning Catholicism, this is where the what do I get out of it comes into. I was able to lose 120, 130 pounds. Now, obviously, I still have a little bit of ways to go. I still want to lose about 50 more pounds. It's been a journey. I've kind of hit a stopping point. I'm trying really hard to push through. What do you that plateau? I'm kind of stuck. But I couldn't have done that without God. I've been trying to lose weight and I could not lose weight. I lost 120 pounds. I was able to get surgery that I desperately needed because I'd lost enough weight. I got my blood pressure under control. I let go of the anger. That was the biggest thing for me. My blood pressure was out of control and I was unhappy because I wanted to be miserable at everyone else. I wanted to hate everyone else because, they're all so stupid. They're all so miserable. It's all so awful. I'm so smart. I'm so great. And if it was just me, the world would be perfect. And that's gone. Now I have a selflessness about me. I try and help other people. I spend a lot of time trying to help these people I once looked down on, once literally wished death upon. That peace is worth more than any money in the world, any one thing in the world. Having let go of that anger, I was able to stop smoking. I was able to stop drinking. I don't smoke or drink really anymore at all. I found a better job. I found a place where I could be at least happy and work on myself. I was able to go back to school and get a degree. And that is, well, it's just some of the selfish things, right? Again, that's why I promised you I'm not here to preach to you Jesus is God. Again, true, but that's not what I'm preaching. I'm saying that that's what I got out of it. I got my health back. I got my life back. I enjoy so many different things. I used to just lock myself in my room and play video games all day. Now I go out and do photography. I do drone work. I do art. I spend time with my wife. We go hiking. We do so many things. And life is just so much more enjoyable. That I found beauty and happiness in so many things I would have never thought that I could have found that beauty and happiness in. So, why should you give yourself to God in 2024? What do you get out of it? Am I saying you'll lose a bunch of weight and instantly be happy? No. It is difficult still. There will be hardship. There is a lot to it. It does require selflessness. It does require you to die to yourself. It's not all roses and easy street, but it changed me fundamentally as a person for the better. It made me a better husband. It made me a better person. It made me happier in life. It did lead me to weight loss. It did lead me to stopping smoking, drinking, all these vices that were taking over my life. And I truly believe that it could do the same for you. That if you just started walking towards God in 2024 and said, these are my burdens, whether it be drinking, smoking, weight loss, anger, depression, sadness, defeat, hopelessness, whatever it may be, you give that up to God and say, just help me. Just help me. Take the first couple of steps. I think you'll see the change that you want in 2024. And when you're faced with these big elections that are coming up, you're faced with the hopelessness of people coming in saying the world is dying, mass shootings are up, plague and pestilence, people are dying left and right, starvation is there, job losses are on all-time high. You'll see all these things of anxiety, all these worries, and you won't worry. You'll have this peace and love of God that will let you know that whatever happens, you'll be okay. God will take care of you. I recently lost that job that I liked, and it was paying the mortgage, it was paying the bills, And usually I'd be freaking out because what does this mean? How I need another job right away, right? What if I can't pay my bills? What if I'm homeless? What if my wife and I have to live out on the streets? What if I can't pay for food? I don't have that worry. Whatever happens will happen. God will take care of us. And now that I look back and see this whole journey, I can see every step of the way that God really did help us. That there were times where I was worried that we wouldn't be able to pay our bills and I would get a raise. That I was worried that costs were increasing and I would get a promotion. That every time there was truly something that I was worried about, God was working in the background and really taking care of it. And again, that peace of not having anger, that peace of knowing that everything is taken care of, that peace of knowing that you don't have to be anxious, you don't have to have anxiety because God is there. God will provide. That is just worth its weight in gold. So my hope for you is that you watch this video. And again, I don't want to sit here and preach about get God because you want to go to heaven, all these good things. My goal is for you to say, I want that. I want that peace. I want that lack of anxiety. I want that happiness. I want to be free from these vices. Say, I want that for myself. And so I'm going to just take the first step towards God so that I can help to get rid of the anger, the anxiety, the vices, whatever it may be. If that's something you want, there is other videos on my channel. I recommend like the So You Want to Be a Catholic Start Here starter guide. That will give you some books and resources for you to read and start that journey. I'm not saying you have to convert tomorrow. I'm not saying that you have to start going to church January 1st. I'm just saying take the first step. Lay that anxiety, that fear, that doubt down before God. Take the first step towards Him and see what you get out of it. Again, it's not selfish. That's just how humans are. We always ask, what do you get out of it? And what I got out of it sounds scary, but I died. I died to myself and I became reborn in Christ. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me, happened to my wife, happened to my friends, my family. The peace and love of God is an amazing gift. And that's why in 2024, you should find God.